plan to buy a property, I was like a lawyer. I read those landlord tenant laws.
Man, that had to be like a
Like
thick book.
I made my own SOP for
Wow.
landlording, like standard operating procedure.
Wow.
Meaning, if this happens, I'm doing this.
Wow.
If they don't pay after this, I'm doing that. If like down to the fact, like if somebody dies in there, I know exactly what to do and
Yeah.
how to
Yeah.
proceed. So
Makes
it's
sense.
it like I took it like methodologically like to that point. So I'm not
Yeah.
surprised, and
Yeah.
again mitigating the risk.
Yeah.
So
That's heavy. And another thing, you have your SOP, your standard agreement
yeah,
booklet, right?
SOP, yeah, standard operating procedure.
There we go. There we go. I call it. In my case, I call it the ironclad lease
Got it.
because when someone steps in your property, they need to know the code
Oh
of
yeah,
conduct.
oh yeah. The lease is
Maybe
big
no
part.
smoking weed. You know, everybody gonna smoke a little weed though,
Oh yeah,
or a little vaping. But you want to set the standard so that people don't abuse their stay with you. And that's the problem. A lot of people don't go through the standard codes in their lease in the beginning. Many times when I'm doing a lease, I sit down face to face with the person and say, hey, this is the code right here. It's like any business. If you go into Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, you look at the wall, they got a code of
code of
standards, right? What
conduct.
they
Yeah,
stand for,
yeah.
right? Every profitable investor has a code of ethics when it comes to their stay.
And if you break that, you gotta go because there's other tenants that need their the
Yeah.
quiet time and all that. And regarding the lease, touch a perfect point on that. I've probably modified my lease at least 10 times.
100%. I have modified a lease. Like when I first got into real estate, you can go to get a lease from Home Depot, Staples.
Yeah.
But that is not really what you need. You need to modify that lease or get with someone that has a
Specific
ironclad
to
lease
you.
because there's people that want to abuse you and use you and,
and
take
then
from you.
and then they find loopholes in there.
Loopholes, right?
Like you gotta cross. Like for instance, meeting other investors like yourself. I'll see their lease. Like, oh, I'll read it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't have that clause in there. Let me copy pit. Let me get that.
100%. You smart. Because what I learned is
I'm brand new. Matter of fact, I just found my first renter last Thursday after sweating a whole bunch of bullets on a house that I closed on the end of April. And I guess I'll say I joined this group because, Tony has helped me get started and go on the way. And my ambition is to start a real estate business, not just buy houses. And my goal is to be able to retire early. So I love the term mailbox money. I've never heard that before. I think I heard you say that a couple of times, Tony. So yeah, that's my goal. I want a whole bunch of mailbox money. I want the mailbox full. Cause this work thing is not, I don't see myself going another 25 years or so, which is when I officially would retire. So yeah, nice to meet everyone. I guess I'll just be listening because all I got is newbie stuff to contribute. Newbie mistakes.
I'm so proud of you because you came into the game and you talked about what you were going to get, came in, saw it, and you conquered it. You got your new project, you finished it, and you got a renter. So that's huge. So congratulations on that. New
Thanks.
on the way.
Yes, I even have to go find the mailbox. UPS. Yes.
hey, hey, throw it up. Woo! We got some sound effects this time. Yeah, we got some sound effects. Oh my goodness. Welcome back to another live stream. A live stream. I'm Antonio Smith, the Cellionaire.
and we talk about real estate, showing you how to get your first of many passive income properties within your first 90 days or less, getting deals done. No matter if you're a wholesaler, a flipper, rehabber, a passive income buyer, we can help you get your next rental property and help you profit to success. So if you're not a member and you're live here tonight with us, make sure you go in the comments area and click on the link to book a call with us, and we'll show you the way. We'll see how we can help you build a real estate portfolio worth some real money. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. It's another night. We're going to really be bringing the heat, the fire tonight. And I'm excited. We got some great guests with us tonight. We're going to be talking about closing your first real estate deal, your first transaction. And we have a rock star in the house. Now, I've done hundreds and hundreds of closings over the year. And the person that I'm going to have up tonight, she can attest to that because I work with her. And she's a premier closer, an agent. She's like the direct contact with the closing attorney. So there's no one that knows how to get a deal closed better than her. She even knows better than an attorney in many cases. She can go in there and tell them what they need to do. Because she's the first line of defense, so to speak. When you bring in a contract into the office to get the deal done, she's the first person that you deal with. And there's a protocol that you need to know how to go through to be able to get the best communication, the best opportunity to build a relationship with them over time. And she's going to be breaking it down for us tonight, showing you guys the best way to get your deals processed fast. And I know I'm like I like urgency. I'm an urgent person, but you have to understand how the processor works to be able to get the best benefit and so that your deal goes through smoothly every time. And since we're talking about closing, we're going to also be talking about closing narratives. Like we're going to give you some tests like closing scripts, because some of you guys are close to the touchdown. You're like almost there, but you're not quite there. And we're going to show you how to get there tonight. So pop in the comments. Yeah, Laura, I got the sound machine. Yes. I got the sound machine. Laura, I want you guys to drop in the comments. I'm in the house. Let me know you're in the house. I see you, Laura, over there. I see Lauren, you're in the house. We're going to bring you up in a moment. It's one of our guests in here tonight. Lauren, I'm in the house. Yes, I got this. I finally got the sound machine. You just don't understand. Can you guys hear it good? I've been wanting to do that for a long time, and I finally got the machine that I needed. And it's really not connected all the way to the system and synced all the way, but I have like a mic over here, a speaker that's kind of capturing the sound. So I guess if you guys can hear it, let me know you can hear it. If you can hear it, let me know. You can hear it, let me know. Let me know if you can hear it. So, I've been wanting to do that for a minute because sometimes because I bought the machine itself and it was a couple $100. Then I realized I had to get the right microphone. It was like a proprietary machine. And so I had to wait for that. Now I got everything here. It's not in syncing, but I guess you guys can hear it. So we're just going to work with what we have. And it's working. You hear it? Okay, perfect. You hear it. All right, perfect. So I'm excited. I'm excited tonight because most of you guys, like if you're new to being a real estate investor, you're thinking about how can I get to the closing table the fastest? What's the best way for me to start my real estate journey? So I'm going to take you back a little over 10 years ago when I first got back into the game. I was coming in with a bit of discouragement because I was a bit frustrated and I wanted to start over again. I wanted to try something, but I didn't quite understand how it worked. And many of you come into something new. Maybe you're a bit frustrated. You've lost a bit of confidence because you were the man or woman in this last career, but now you're having to start a whole new career. And you're like, wow, um, how can I get to the position where I'm respected, where I'm highly regarded, where I'm not like frustrated because I don't know a system and what to do and how to do it? How can I get there the fastest? And it's frustrating because everything that you do, you have a certain learning curve that you have to go through, no matter what you're doing. You can buy a franchise and spend millions of dollars on that franchise, but you're going to still have to learn their system and how to do it. If you don't do it, you're going to have to hire someone else that know how to do it. And I was thinking to myself, how can I get back to that position that I was in, earning the income that I was used to making, and being in a position to where I don't have to depend on anyone else to get the income that I want. I could just plug and play. I know what I need to do. Let me run the ball. Like, I can run the ball. Just show me how to do it. Show me the way. And in the beginning, I had to just really humble myself in a way because, sometimes when you're in need, you get this feeling to where you're kind of like you're not as humble as you think you are. You kind of come at off with a bit of arrogance, but you have to be humble and ask for help. And I wasn't used to asking for help. I was just used to making things happen. Matter of fact, I was all my life, I just wasn't used to asking people for stuff. As I started to get in a position in life, if I had one car, I always I need another car. And then if that one breaks down, I need another car because I never wanted to go back to the bus. Or if I crossed out and hit one income goal, I'm like, okay, we need to ensure that we're hitting another income goal, another income goal. So it was like I never was like the type that really asked people because I came from an environment where a lot of people around me didn't have it anyway. So I didn't have those people around me to depend on. So I had to make it work. It was me or nothing. And I had to build myself up to be able to get around those people in the network to be able to help me, for the right people to help me. And sometimes we're in environments to where we're around people, but no one can help us. You can't ask them for $100,000. You can't even ask them for $20, $1, and they'll make up a reason not to give you $1. And everybody's like so close-handed. They don't want to give you anything. And I saw that. And I knew as a kid, I never wanted to be like that. I wanted to have my hand open. I wanted to be able to give. I wanted to be able to receive. And I remember being a kid and having to go next door. There was a church next to us, and we would go to this church. And every other week, they would have like a free food box where you could go in there and get some free food. They'll give you a box of food. And we actually lived in Section 8 housing in Atlanta. And my mom would always be like, hey, go over there and get a box of food. And I remember going to the church, getting a box of food, and they would fill the box up with all these different types of food. And it was the first times that I would even see myself getting name brand foods like Betty Crocker. I actually had the real name of the Captain Crunch. I had a Captain Crunch because I always get the store brand Captain Crunch. I would actually get the Colonial bread, the real bread name, because I would always get the generic bread. Everything was just so generic in my life. I didn't even realize till I was older that bologna and hot dogs wasn't even real meat. And I was like, wow, all my life I've been eating fake food. And to get back to the point, I always wanted to be in a position where I could give. And I would get those boxes of food and I would go back, and me and my brothers and everybody in the house would just split the food up. And I would always wonder, how can we get out of this position? Like, everybody around me are in need. I don't have people around me that I can ask for things that I need. I need transportation. I need money. I need clothes. I need shoes. We need food around here. And it was like everybody was just so overprotected of what they had. No one had their hand open and willing to give. And I said, one day I want to be in a position where I can give and I can give. So I think that put me in the mindset. It was like, once I get it, I never want to be in positions where I have to ask someone for it, where I have to ask someone for to help me because I had so many disappointments with people around me in my life that let me down. Even some relatives, sometimes someone was hooked on drugs and got hooked on drugs, and I found myself believing in them and they get hooked on drugs and they take from me. So I was like, man, when the things are gonna change? And when you're a kid, you have to kind of go with the flow. You can't make all these decisions. And I started out really young, starting to work and find my way in life. And I remember at 16, I was hired for a job at a newspaper place that was around the corner from me because I lived close to it used to be the Turner Field Stadium. It's Mechanicsville. It's a project area in Atlanta, Georgia, and I lived there. And I was just like in hustle mode all the time, trying to survive, trying to make it happen. And my mom would do the best she could. I remember her finally giving me some new shoes, and they were the Pro Wings. They weren't the Nikes that I wanted. And the kids in school would pick at me like, "Man, I thought I was fresh," but they were pick at me and bully me because I didn't have the name brands like they had, and they lived in the same projects I did. But they would have the Jordans, the best, the newest Nikes that were out. They were fresh, the new clothes and all that. And I was more into hand-me-downs. I didn't have any of that stuff. And I had got a job. I had to get a certificate at the school that I went to be able to work because I think you had to be a certain age, and I was like 13 or 14 at that time, and I got a certificate from my counselor to work at that job. So I was always like hustling, trying to make it happen, find my way. And I would even scout tickets because I was close to the stadium. And then some nights I would go there and I was a kid and walk around the stadium. People would give me free tickets. And I would end up selling those tickets to be able to earn enough money to go back to the house and buy my sisters and brothers some food, give my mom some money. And I would be so happy. I would be so happy to give my mother money because all of a sudden she would just be happy. Like, wow, because we all have it inside of us to be able to want to help others and give to others and share. It's inside of us. Even when we try to hold it in, it's inside of us. We want to give. And I just remember her smiling and being so thankful. And I would be like, even if I had to give it all to her, and I could be out all day and night working to make it, I would be happy and somewhat fulfilled inside because I gave to her and I helped her and I saw her smile because I saw her struggle a lot in this environment. And I knew that inside of her, she wanted to do more for me, for us, because I was the oldest of 7 kids. But the challenges that she had to deal with were just like overwhelming. It was like overwhelming. Just imagine being in the projects in Atlanta, some of the roughest times in your life, and having to be able to figure out a way for 7 kids to eat. And there was times I didn't make it home. If I didn't make it home in time, I wouldn't eat. And it was a problem. It was a problem. And it just stuck with me. And as I grew older, I knew that I had to make a way for myself because no one else would. I couldn't put my faith in anyone else. I had to make the change because if I wanted to help the other people, I had to help myself first. I had to be somewhat selfish for a part of my life to where I had to say, no, I cannot help you right now, but I will eventually. I'll come back. I'll be back. I will be back. And I would tell people that I would be back. So I went on this quest. And one day I was reading the newspaper. As a kid, I would read the newspaper and I saw this big ad, like you can make $500 a week. I think it was like a crazy number at that time. This was like when I was a kid. I was like, wow, $500 a week, $1,000 a week. How? And I wasn't even 18 yet. And I went in,
for this appointment. I went in for this appointment, and there was like this mafia looking guy and his son there, and in the back they had a call center. And I went in there for the interview, and I was like, "Oh, you're Antonio," and I was like, "Yeah, that's me. I'm here for the interview." And they kind of looked at me and kind of smiled and laughed because they were like, "You're not even old enough to work here." And I looked around, everybody else was like way older than me, maybe like 10, 20 years older than me. And I didn't see any kids around, but I was like, I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to learn. And the guy said, "No, we can't hire you. You're just not old enough. Just come back in, another year or so." And the big guy looked like he's a mafia type guy. He was like heavy built mafia type guy, and it was his dad. And he said, let's give him a chance. Let's see what he can do. And I was like so relieved. They told me to come back the next day. I went back the next day, and they set me next to an appointment setter, and her name was Beverly. Beverly would get tons of appointments. She was like the rock star there. She was killing it. She would come in, make her money, and go home. And I would sit with Beverly, and Beverly would just kind of coach me and like, "Oh, Antonio, go over there, just listen." And I would see her on the phone, energetic, making deals and all that. And I was like, wow, I want to be like Beverly. I want to be like Beverly one day. And I would just sit there for like a week at a time, just listening to her. And then it came my time to get on the phone and make the calls, pick up the phone, make the calls, because it was a telemarketing business. And I got on the phone, and the phone felt like so heavy. It was like so heavy. It's like trying to pick up a weight. It was so heavy because now you have to do it. Now you have to be the one. There's no more listening. You got everything you need. You internalize all the information. Now you got to go out and do something. And I found myself feeling alone again in the shell of a cubicle, sitting there looking at that wall with my pen and my number sheet in my hand, looking at it like, what's the next person going to say to me? Are they going to curse me out? Are they going to hang up on me? And they were cursing me out. They were hanging up on me. And I started to question myself, like, wow, is this for me? Is it ever going to happen for me? Will I ever be successful? And I felt like I had put so much energy into it that I was just almost like, felt like giving up inside, because I felt alone again. Like, wow, it's not going to work for me. And something inside of me kind of reminded me that, because I didn't know anything about motivation or any of that stuff at that time, just kind of reminded me of the lifestyle that I wanted. And I remember as a kid, I would watch this show called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous by Robin Leach. And this guy would come on there with his heavy English accent, and he would like showcase these houses and cars and boats and these homes of like the luxury lifestyle that people were living. And I would sit there as a kid, like watching it, like, wow, man, I mean, just one day, if I could just get a piece of that, I mean, I'd be happy, because no one around me was living like that. I had never tasted a piece of it. I just wanted my piece. I wanted my piece of the pie. And while I'm saying this, I want you guys to type in the comment section, my piece of the pie, my piece of the pie, my piece of the pie. Type that in, my piece of the pie, my piece of the pie. I want you to type that in, my piece of the pie, my piece of the pie. Because I wanted to taste it. I wanted my piece of it. I wanted to see myself on a yacht or driving a car that I wanted, living a lifestyle that I wanted. I wanted to be a happy place, even for my mother. I wanted to see her happy. I wanted to see her happy. I wanted to see my sisters and brothers happy. And I saw myself just kind of in that hustle phase where I'm working, but nothing's happening. I'm doing all the things that people tell me, but nothing's happening. And as I was sitting there looking at my list of numbers to dial, and at that time we didn't have the the caller where they automatically I had to actually officially just dial the numbers, right? I had to dial the numbers. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna dial it again and see what happens. See what happens because I knew that I may get rejected. I knew that I may get disappointed on this next call. I knew that I may get my feelings hurt. But I thought about that show and I said to myself, would it be worth it? Would it be worth it living a lifestyle that I always wanted to live for me to get a bit of rejection, maybe cursed out, maybe hung up on, maybe told off? For me to take it for this moment, temporary moment, for me to live the rest of my life in the dreams that I really want. Would it be worth it? Would it be worth it? And that gave me a bit of energy to pick up the phone and dial again. It gave me a little bit of more energy to dial again. And I dialed that number, and I probably the third or the fourth number down was my next sale. I made that first sale on the phone. That was my first sale on the phone. I wasn't even quite a teenager yet. I made my first sale on the phone. And when I made that sale, I was like, wow, it could possibly happen for me. But I almost gave up right before that sale happened because my mind started telling me no. It started telling me that maybe it's not for me. I almost talked myself out of being the person I am today. That's why I wrote the book, The Sellionaire. That's part of who I am today, is because of what happened to me back then. Like we always see the superheroes like Batman and Spider-Man got bit by a spider, and Batman he came back because his family was killed and surrounded by bats when he was falling. You know, that was my moment. That was my moment. Making that sale at that moment changed me. Changed me. Because no one around me had really showed me how to make money. And the way that I could make money would have been the wrong way. And it could have, and I probably wouldn't be here to this day. But making that sale on the phone changed my life. It showed me the possibilities and what could happen. It showed me that I must be willing to not give up on my dreams. My calling, my destiny is bigger than you think it is. Sometimes we only can think as wide as our head is, and there's so much more outside of that. So what's really important? Why am I telling you this story? I want to remind you that you're a lot closer to winning than you really think you are. I'm really telling you this because I see it every day when I'm talking to new members that get into the business, and they're excited initially when they get in, but maybe they haven't been through a couple of things. Maybe they're new to everything. Maybe they're expecting overnight success, or maybe they've had success and they're trying to regain the success that they had in the past. And I'm thinking in my head and I'm feeling it like, you're closer than you think. Just lock arms with me. Lock arms with me. You're closer than you think. Because I was there thinking like, would it ever happen for me? So tonight I'm going to give you the 3 things that you need also to be able to lock in and close the deal. Not only on a sale on your next house or your next property, you need to close the deal on yourself and recommit yourself to the lifestyle that you want. You have to be able to take the ideas and thoughts of yourself and where you want to be in your future and use it to get yourself through the present. Because sometimes you're going to feel alone. You can have the biggest team, you can have so much love, and we hear it all the time. People have had that and they've committed suicide, or they don't feel the love, they can't feel it, they don't feel it. And they've killed themselves because it's just overwhelming. Because until you give yourself that permission and that inspiration to move on to the next, no one else can do it for you except you. And I had to overcome those thoughts in my head. And thankfully, when I was a kid, I saw that show, because I didn't have, at that particular point, I hadn't heard of Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Jim Rohn, and all the motivational speakers. I didn't hear their story. I had never heard this story before at that particular moment. But lo and behold, just being able to see the vision of people actually doing it and seeing that, for that moment, I was ready to give up that next call. That pushed me through the next 15 minutes that led me to change my life. And from that first call, I became the youngest kid in the room to be able to produce income on the phone. I bought a car that my boss was selling there, cash, as a kid. I didn't even have my driver's license yet. And I drove the car home, and I told my mom I have a car, and she was shocked, like, you don't even have a license. But I knew we needed a car. So I bought the car so he could take me to get my driver's license. I needed braces. I bought my own braces. I started to be able to provide for myself. And I never liked school, because I think school, it takes so long for you to start getting to the position where you could talk about what you really went to school for. They put like so many objectives in front of you that you have to figure out before you start actually going to what you go to school for. And you find yourself getting into debt and getting distracted and falling off. And next thing you know, you're not motivated anymore. And you're doing things that you know you shouldn't be doing. You're smoking more, you're drinking more, you're hanging around the wrong people. And I knew when I went to college, I got my GED. I didn't quite finish school, but I got my GED. My mom's like, you need to go back to school. And with that program, they gave me a scholarship when I got it. And I was able to go to college for a little bit. And when I went to college, I didn't even enjoy it, because they put like so many different classes in front of what I'm going to college for. I'm like, in my mind, I need to make money. I'm already out of my mom's house. I'm already in the real world. If I stop now, I'll fall. So I can't fall. So thankfully, I had learned the skill set of work of telemarketing at that time. And they say that your gift will open doors for you, and it did. I was actually one of the top producers, and there was a guy that worked around me. He was in corporate America, and he was in corporate America, and he saw me, how I was like having success on the phone like over the years. And he was like, he became a vice president of a company in corporate America. And a couple of years later, he called me and he's like, Tony, I remember you. I remember you. It's a young guy in the room making sales. I want you to come work with us. And I was able to work with a company in corporate America that you had to have PhDs, all these different certifications. And I had never even been on a salary with the company like that. I had been working commission all that time. And now I was in a position where a company was giving me a salary. They're giving me my own office. They gave me my own computer, my own phone, everything provided for me in this corporate building. They say your gift will make way for you. And it really did. And that led me on to a career in corporate America, learning how to market on the phone, learning how to get into business, because I dabbled in and out of network marketing as well. And during that time, I realized I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to do my own thing as well. And someone presented merchant services. I got into merchant services, and it was the same scenario again. It happened because I was successful in corporate America. Then the economics of the economy changed, and I had to figure out again, like, I need to learn something new. I need to learn something new. That's why I'm afraid to get in people and have them coach me if they haven't been through something, they haven't had to pull themselves out again and redeem themselves again. If they haven't done that, I cannot listen to them because life is going to throw you different things that's going to throw you off, that's going to blow your mind. And you're going to have to dig deep inside of your soul and your spirit and your heart to be able to pull yourself out of that all over again. Because what it's going to remind you of is the person you can be. But since you're in this dirty body, it's going to only remind you of who you are right now. So that's why it's important for you to be careful to what you're putting in your head, especially in the beginning, because you're going to revert back to the old mindset. That's why the Bible says to always be reverting your mind and putting in the knowledge of Christ. And I'm not preaching tonight, but as a kid, I would hear these stories. So giving yourself permission to succeed. So I found myself in corporate America wanting to get back in business. So I dabbled in the MLM, was successful again. And I found myself again looking out the window like, what's next for me? And a tear dropped in my eye. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this again because to get here was so hard. And now I have to find something brand new to do. What if it takes me a while to get there? And I remember I had to remind myself of the person I am in the future to get myself through what I was dealing with in the present. You have to get in the habit of reminding yourself of who the person you are in the future to get yourself through the present. Because you look around, you look at your car, it's probably not the car you want to drive. You look around at the house you're living in, probably not the house you want to live in for your whole life. You look around at your friends, broke 1 and broke 2, 3 and 4. These probably not the friends that can help you ever. Got to remind yourself of who you really are. Because if you're on this call, evidently you have a calling and a challenge to succeed. And that was one of the books that I picked up by Jim Rohn, The Challenge to Succeed. And because I wanted it so much, and I knew I had so much bad programming in my mind and so many negative people around me that I needed to get some new thoughts in my head, I would listen to that audio, and I probably bought that audio cassette program probably 20 or more times because I listened to it so much, and it was tapes at that time. And I would listen to it and put in the radio, and the tapes would break after a while. They would break. I had to buy a whole new set. Because when I was driving, I knew I needed to listen to it. I knew I needed to internalize it. I knew that if I didn't get these philosophies in my head, that my mind would revert back. So once I locked this in my head, it was nothing that can stop me. So number one is locking in the right thoughts in your mind. If you don't have someone whispering in your ear, reminding you the person that you're supposed to be, instead of telling you the person that you are, reminding you, you need to change that today. Get some new people around you. And sometimes those people may not want to hang around you yet. You may not look like the people they want to hang around yet. You may not be driving that fancy car they feel like they want to hang around. You're living in the house or the lifestyle or the networking types of people. So that's okay. That's okay. There's someone that has already done it, and you can borrow their story to keep you inspired, to keep you on track to where you're going in the future. Because it's going to be a bit frustrating in the beginning, and your job is to stay in the game. See yourself here a year from now. Recommit yourself another year from now to be here. When I was in network marketing, a guy named Mark Yarnell wrote a book, Your First Year. And in that book, he talked about committing as soon as you start today to being here a year from now. Commit to that. Because Most people, I would say 90% of the people fall out the first year of network marketing. Some people have never even started their own business. Now, this is not network marketing. This is a business. This is your own business. But it's very similar because your biggest business is you. You got to work more on yourself than you do in your business because every day you're going to want to give up. The thoughts are trying to get back in your head. And you have to remind yourself, I'm not going back. I'm going forward. I'm not going backwards. I'm going forward. And you got to remind yourself that. You got to remind yourself that every day. Like there's times even when you have success, you're going to feel like giving up. Like, is it really working out? Is really happening? But I guarantee you, if you can overcome this thought, your biggest life-changing deal is right around the corner. It's right around the corner. I guarantee you that. I guarantee it. If you could just focus and stay in. If you could stay in. I remember as a kid, I would watch this movie, Clash of the Titans, where this guy would go out and he had his horse Pegasus. And he went out on a mission, and the gods were watching over him. And they would send him different challenges that he had to get through. He had to fight off these warlocks and these one-eyed monsters and these four-legged creatures and giants. Then he had to kill Medusa. All these different challenges. And then the gods were like, sit there in there with the columns looking down on him, seeing how bad he really wanted. And they would move the chess pieces. Like, should we give him another challenge? Should we let him pass this? And they would give him all these challenges, but from time to time, they would let him pass through to the next level. Just like you playing a game. You playing a game. You have to pass that stage to go to the next level. What you're dealing with right now is just the level that is trying to keep you there. But this last thing you need to do to prove is say you're not going to give up to go to the next level, the next round. It's right around the corner. It's not that far away. You've already put in the work, the effort, the learning, the knowledge, the training. Your next step is not that far away, but you can't give up before you get there. And these guys would like sit there, they would fold their hands, they would look down on him because they had the power. They would send him different things to protect him. They sent him a shield. They gave him a sword. They gave him different power. They sent like things just like God. They would send like different things in his life to help him get through. You got to remember where you are currently. You're supposed to be there. And that the gods that watch over you never put you in a situation that are more than you can bear. You can bear it. But you got to be willing to get through it. It's not going to kill you. You're going to get through this. Tell yourself you're going to get through this. You're going to get through it and you're going to win. It's not far. You just got to get through this stage to get to the next stage. So in the beginning, that was my beginning stage. That stage took me to another stage. And it was never like happily ever after. It was like years of happiness for sure. My money was right. But no matter where you are, there's going to be a challenge in life that's going to sit you back. And you're going to have to come to that same place again. We're going to have to make another decision. Where do I see myself in the future? I see myself there. That's what I'm shooting for. That's why I'm here today. That's why I'm here today. I'm doing this today because I see there's a lot more stages for me. I always wanted to help more people. I wanted to help more people realize their dreams, their vision. I've always been told that I had that, and even though I didn't see it. And it always caused me to be able to reach back and give something. And people remind me of it when I'm not even thinking about it. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. It's tough. I don't have to do it. I could be on a yacht somewhere now, relaxing, chilling. I don't have to do these calls. I don't have to do coaching. I don't. But I do this because I enjoy helping people like you win. Win. And it's been challenging for me at different times. I had to learn new marketing techniques. I have to learn these things to be able to bring it to you guys.
algorithms are changing every day. I got to make videos interesting. People are making reels, videos, and thumbnails now. I got to learn all these different things. I have to have a team around me that know these different things to be able to share them with you guys. The most cutting edge techniques that are working right now. That's work. Like, that's work. That's a lot of work. And I appreciate you guys that show up here and you call me and you thank me for it. But it's about, the mission is bigger than just me. If we cross paths, there's a reason for that. And I'm somewhat committed, because you committed to me to succeed. I'm committed to you to win. But I want you to understand that there's levels to this. And I want you to give yourself the permission to win again. Type in the comments, win again, win again. It's time for you to win again, win again. And like I said in the beginning, you got to be a bit selfish with it. You may not be able to give your time away to the people that you were giving it to. You may not be able to give the money that you were used to giving these people. You have to, at a certain period of this time, you got to be somewhat selfish. And that's the only way you're going to be able to come back and help these people, because you're in the learning stages again. You're learning a strategy. You're learning a system. You're learning a new marketing technique. We're putting a process together for you, all of that. We're bringing it all together. But there's going to be times that you got to stop and look at yourself and say, and give yourself permission to win. Like, I got to give myself permission every day to win again. You don't think I don't want to lay in the bed till 12 o'clock, not go to the gym, work out, not take calls all day? It's work. It's work. It's work. Win again. I see you, Erica. Win again. Love it. It's time to win again. Winning again is essential to your future. I was talking to my son a while back, and sometimes you don't think your kids are listening to you. You're like, you get a little frustrated, like, hey, you really listening? You hard-headed. But he reminded me of something that I did years ago. And I was like, wow, you really were watching me. They were learning by watching you and how you move. You think they're just listening to you. They're not listening to you. They're watching you. Is my mother a winner? Is my father a winner? Deep inside, are they a winner? Or do they just give up on life? Because you are their first mentors. And you got it in you. And they want to know that they got a winning spirit inside of them as well. When times are tough, they know that you're going to figure it out no matter what you're dealing with. Now, I was raised by my godmother, and she didn't have a lot of money or anything, poor, but I always felt rich. I didn't even know it was poor, because she always made sure I was clean, and she gave me some socks with a hole in it. She was telling me that nobody don't have any business taking your shoes off anyway. It made me feel good about it. And giving yourself permission to win again is essential for you having success in anything that you do. So if you feel like you maybe fell behind a bit and maybe you missed out on some opportunities, sure you have, but you have another opportunity today to give yourself permission to win again, because that's what life's going to be about. You can be a multimillionaire and boom, go through a divorce. Boom, get sick. Boom, somebody die that you love. Boom, you lost money. Boom, somebody close to you got affected. They need your help. It's going to keep coming. It's going to keep coming. It's not going to stop. That's why having the essential mindset to keep giving yourself the win again spirit is going to be critical for you having more success, more success, more success. And then on top of that, you got to start creating the activity. Now, in the beginning, I didn't know a whole lot years ago. So I was like ignorance on fire. I was just doing all types of stuff and then just hoping something stick. And that's okay too. But that, you got to lock in with your mentor, make sure you're on the right activities. That's why you show up on these calls. That's why you show up on the masterminds. That's why you ask the best questions. That's why you keep learning. You invest in yourself. It's not one time. You're constantly investing in yourself. You're constantly investing in you. Constantly. It don't stop. It's not a one-hit wonder. You're not a one-hit wonder. You got to constantly invest in yourself. If it's videos, like I get excited about stuff, I'll be up all night on YouTube, or I'll be up all night watching the course. I'll be up all night watching the video. Because I need to know. I'm trying to kill time. Because the more I think about the time, the more that momentum dies. And you need that momentum. You need that momentum. That's right. We're winning again together. We're winning again together. We're winning again, 100%. 100%. So you're giving yourself permission. So ask yourself as well, what's the vision? Where do you see yourself in the next year? What's keeping you constantly reinvigorated, re-enlightened, re-inspired to do what you do? Because everybody do something for some outcome. People don't hop in traffic for 2 hours, 4 hours a day to not get something. They want that check. They want that check on every 2 weeks. They want a check. They don't get out of the bed at 4 o'clock in the morning for no reason. They want something. And they're trying to kill time. They're trying to get rid of the time in between. What do you want? What are you willing to sacrifice to get what you want? What is it? You need to write that down and make it clear and baptize yourself in that again. And the reason I use the word baptize because I was raised partially in the South. My dad is an immigrant from Jamaica. Him and my mom grew apart, and I didn't meet him until I was older. So I was raised by a Southern godmother in the South. And she would talk about baptism, and she was like a prophetess. And she would drag me to church all the time. So baptisms and things like that was like common language in the house. But you got to baptize yourself again into recommitting to what you want. It comes a time that you have to recommit yourself to what you want all over again, to reinvigorate your body. Give yourself permission again. Somebody say again. Type in again. Type in again. Again is an action word, somewhat. It's an action word. Again. Like you have to do something to get it again. You have to do something to do it again. So I want you to recommit yourself to doing this again. Sure, you had some disappointments. Sure, you've had some setbacks. Sure, you had some things that didn't work for you before. But you give yourself permission again. We had a gentleman just a few days ago. He was on here. We interviewed him. He had lost over $50,000 in crypto. But he gave himself permission again to win in a whole new industry by locking in with us. Now he's on track to start winning again. Win again. Again. Lock in. Again. And the last one is you have to have a vision of yourself again. How do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself in the next 12 months? Like, no matter where your business is, how long you've been doing it, you're going to find yourself every 6 months getting tired and frustrated and asking yourself, do you still want to do this? So know that you're not alone where you are. But you have to go back to what got you started in the first place. Go back to that one sheet that you did when we set up a strategy call. Go back to that time when you looked at you looked at that car and you like, man, I'll be back. Go back and get it back in your spirit. It's going to take you going back and getting it in your spirit again. Reinvigorate your spirit. Find out what reinvigorates your spirit. Like for me, I like watching like real stuff. Like yesterday, I was watching on YouTube this interview with Mark Zuckerberg, and he was talking about the future and AI and the where his company's going and all that. And someone was like, "Wow, you know, he's got money. He's changed his attitude. He's changed his look and all that." And he's talking about something totally new now. Like he talked about he loved building businesses. He loved building business. He loved building. Ask yourself, what do you love to do? You like building. And what do you like doing? That gives you enjoyment. Use that to get you through something that you may not want to do all the time. That's right. Your why. Your why. Why are you doing it? Why are you getting up at 12 o'clock in the why are you getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning? Why are you getting on these calls? Why are you going through the training? Why are you going through the course? Why are you doing that? Why are you getting off work and then doing what you need to do to get your next appointment? Why? What is your why? How powerful is your why? Now, my powerful is why. I was willing to give my last. I remember times I gave my last just to do a conference in New York. And the conference was about $7,000. And I knew that I didn't know where my rent was going to come from. I didn't. But I knew that my future, where I saw myself, was more important than my rent, because I wouldn't be in the house that I wanted to be in if I didn't make an investment. It was scary. It was very scary. But I did that. But even till this day, the things that I learned in that conference got me to the next stage in my life. And I was able to become a different person from making that scary step in my life. Like, investing in yourself is scary. Like, what are you willing to do that's scary? Like, are you willing to do your last to win again? Like, winning is scary. Like, when you pull up next to a six-figure car, a Ferrari or something, some of you guys get scared. You go to your teller and pull out 100,000 or 200,000, 300,000, the teller gets scared. They're like, what's going on? What do you do? What is this? But some of you guys, nobody ever gets scared around you. Nobody ever shaking. Nobody's ever doing anything. You're not an action person. They're like, oh yeah, I'm not even gonna ask him anything. He's regular. You're not regular. You're not regular. Like, if you're willing to step out here on faith and do something brand new, you're not a regular person. So it should be offensive for people to treat you regular. You want a crazy bank account. You want to go to the best restaurants. You want to drive the best car that you want. You want the best for your family. You're not regular. So don't get comfortable being in regular positions. Know that it's only temporary. It's only temporary. Now, I have never bought a car that I have not went to a lot and got into that car and drove it. Every car that I bought, I driven it first. When I got my G-Wagon, I went to the dealership. I drove it. And I borrowed my AMG. I had drove one. I'd had one 3 or 4 times before. I got my Maserati. I went to the car lot and drove it. Now, that was scary going to the lot because you think you're going to be pressured into buying one. But you need to go there and get in it. You need something to remind you. So I want to tell you guys, if you want that car, go to the dealership and test drive it. All it's going to take you is your driver's license. They're going to hold it for about 30 minutes. You can test drive the car, drive it around, act like it's yours. That's all you need. That's all you need. You need some new energy around you. You can't get around all the bright people. Get around some of the things that you want. It's not going to cost you to go looking in a house. They have open houses every day in these neighborhoods that you want to live in. Go tomorrow. Go look at it. You may get some free cookies and milk just doing that. Go walk through it. Look at the bathroom. Look at the kitchen. Look at the cabinets. Look at the countertops. Look at the material that they have. Look at the backyard. Look at the front yard. I need that to sink in because you need some new energy around you. You get frustrated because you don't have new energy around you and doing some things. Because when that energy is contagious, it's like money is energy. It's contagious. It's energy. It's money. That's why when you get around people that's making things happen, they're not walking slow and moving slow. They're like on it. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. That's what we're talking about. Let's go. We're moving. We're moving. So I challenge you to do that. Find out your why, recommit to it, and do something scary. Go do something this weekend, tomorrow, something that you want. You know you're tired of that car. Go drive a new car. All it's going to cost you is them holding your driver's license. Okay? You don't have to buy it that day. But you need that energy on your mind, reminding you of your future. In every car that I've driven, test driven, I've bought that car. I used to get a magazine called The Rod Report. I'm not sure if they even sell it anymore, but it would showcase these multi-million-dollar items that they had for sale: houses, helicopters, jets, cars, all these different things that I wanted. And I would just, a kid, I would spend $6 on that magazine just to look at the pictures. I'm like, woo. Because it's giving me new energy. It's giving me new energy. So I want you to tap in to new energy by doing something scary within the next 24 hours. To the car lot, make that phone call. Even if you have to forgive someone, make that phone call and forgive it. Get that energy off you. You don't need any negative energy on you. You need to get it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. Shake it off. You need new energy around you. And it's going to only attract more positive energy for you. It's going to attract that to you. That's right. Let's go. Type it in there. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited for all the news, all the success that a lot of the members are having, all the new success to come from the members as well. I want to remind you guys to stay focused, never give up, fight to the death for your dreams. Fight. I just say I want to make a teller scared. Yes, 100%. Tellers get scared because they're working a regular job. They go in there and they're like shaking, like, what's going on? Who are you? Who are you? Reason they don't get scared, they know you. That's a regular account. New energy. New energy. That's what you need on your life. New energy. New energy in your life. People around you, they're not giving you the energy that you need. You need new energy. And sometimes you got to go out and grab it. You got to go out and take it. You got to go get it. And it comes with activity. Have you ever went to a gym and you didn't feel like going to the gym? You really just like, you don't want to go and you're almost talking yourself out of it, but something inside of you like, if I don't go to the gym, I'm going to feel bad tomorrow. So you go to the gym, then all of a sudden you start getting more energy the more you're walking on that treadmill. Then you want to do your weights. Then you're drinking your energy drink and whatever, and your energy's up. You don't even need an energy drink because you're back in the zone. You went out and found the new energy. You're moving. You're calibrating. Buying this new energy. New energy. New energy. And I'm telling you the secret tonight how to get it. Do something scary. Do something that you knew you should have already done, but you talk yourself out of success all the time. We're the biggest people that talk ourselves out of success is you. Talk yourself out of it. Oh, I thought the energy went out. I didn't have it. But we talk ourselves out of it. We got to fight. We got to fight. Fight for your dreams. Don't put your dreams on the shelf. Don't put it on the shelf. I want you, if you have, go back and get it off the shelf. Put it in front of you. Recommit. Recommit. Fight. Fight. I'm willing to put it all on the line for my dreams because I know that I was the unhappiest person when I wasn't living my dreams. I was drinking more. I was depressed all the time. I'm living way below my potential. You're going to be upset. And then when you're upset, you're mad. And you're mad at other people that's having success. You don't even know them. But when you start working and attracting the right energy and finding the energy, because you can get it, if you're willing to get it, I'm telling you the secret on how to get it, new energy. Challenge yourself in the next 24 hours to do something scary, something that you know you should have been doing, but you haven't been doing. You've been putting it off. You've been delaying. You need to do it. Get that heavy weight off you. Lighten your load. Be like, do this right here. It's like, inhale. Hold it. Let it out. Don't you feel better? Don't you feel better? And you're going to feel better because you're being productive. You're being productive. And that's what this is all about, you being productive. Because if you feel like you're not being productive, that's when you start talking yourself out of stuff. But you got to go out and find this new energy. Go find this new energy in the next 24 hours. And then tell me about it. What'd you do that was scary? Don't tell me you went to the grocery store. You always do that. Don't tell me you gossiping to your friend Mary. You always do that. Don't tell me you washed your car. Oh, you could do that. I guess I'll take that. But do something different. Do something that challenges you. That challenges you. 100% challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself all day. And win. And keep winning. Again, because it don't stop. Win again. Win again. And again. Recommit. New vision. New energy. New energy. And I want you to rewatch this as well. Keep this in your ears. Like, get the replay of this. Keep it in your mind because it's the stories that you hear that's going to remind you that you're not alone. Like when I go to the stores now, I don't see any books talking about money. I only see like gossip magazines. That's all I see. I used to go to this magazine counter and just stand on the magazine aisle looking through the magazines and talk about money. There's less books talking about money and more books talking about BS that don't even factor in to your bottom line in your household. Recommit. Recommit. That's what I want to leave you guys with tonight. And if you guys are on this call and you're not members yet, go to the comment section, book a call with us so that we can help you get on the right track in your real estate goals. Just book a call with us. Let us know the time. We've been full lately. We've been full. We've been backed up because we recommitted. Had to recommit ourselves. To recommit. All the time recommitting. Don't never think that someone's not dealing with the same challenges. They're just on different levels. Recommit. Recommit. Type it in the comments, y'all. Recommit. Even if you don't know how to spell it. Recommit. Type it in. Type it in. Recommit. 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 Say it to yourself. Recommit. 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 To you. We got another live stream next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're in the house. All the members are in the house. We also have next one coming up next week. We're live in effect. We got some new things happening for the team, so stay tuned to that. Recommit. Recommit. 100%. Until then, thank you guys for hopping on the call with us tonight, and we will see you guys next Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Recommit, 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 recommit. Type it in. Recommit, 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 recommit. We know surrender over here. Let's go. See you guys on the next one. Have a great night.
I'm brand new. Matter of fact, I just found my first renter last Thursday after sweating a whole bunch of bullets on a house that I closed on the end of April. And I guess I'll say I joined this group because, you know, Tony has helped me get started and go on the way. And my ambition is to start a real estate business, not just buy houses. And my goal is to be able to retire early. So I love the term mailbox money. I've never heard that before. I think I heard you say that a couple times, Tony. So yeah, that's my goal. I want a whole bunch of mailbox money. I want the mailbox full. Because, you know, this work thing is not, I don't see myself going another 25 years or so, which is when I officially would retire. So yeah, nice to meet everyone. I guess I'll just be listening because all I got is newbie stuff to contribute. Newbie mistakes.
I mean, I'm so proud of you because you came into the game and you talked about what you were going to get, came in, saw it, and you conquered it. You got your new project, you finished it, and you got a renter. So that's huge. So congratulations on that. New
Thanks.
on the way.
Yes, I even had to go find the mailbox. UPS. Yes.